channel, everybody. Wanted to share with you the project that I'm currently working on. This will be kind of a part one to the video. The second part of the video, or second video, is going to be pretty much me finishing up the install on this. I've already started to do a little bit of work inside of the panel. And basically, just like the video says, it's a generator backfeed circuit and interlock kit. So I don't know how many people are familiar with them out there. I haven't been overly familiar with them until probably just in the last few years that this was a thing that a lot of people did. There's several different configurations to the way that people will do a generator backfeed circuit. This is just the way that I'm going to hook mine up. I think it's going to do just fine for what we need. I guess in a way, or I guess we could talk about why would you want a generator backfeed circuit in your house. The biggest reason for us wanting one, I guess I'll talk to that point in just a second, and I'll kind of explain what a generator backfeed circuit is or does. So the basic principle would be that you have a power outage, you want to, obviously power some things back up in the house, and you have a generator, and to not have to run extension cords and things all out in different places in your house, you would put in a plug box, kind of like typically what's called a bubble cover or a GFCI box that's outside, that has a generator style plug on it, and then you can set up the generator directly outside of that location or wherever it is, plug into that outside box, and instead of feeding power out of the house, you're actually feeding power back into the house and to a designated breaker inside of the panel. And then you're able to basically start to turn, not everything obviously, but a limited amount of circuits back on that you can now repower through the panel in the house. So that's kind of a basic crash course on why you would want to put in a generator backfeed circuit. The biggest reason that, and this is what I was getting ready to talk about a second ago, why we wanted to put one in, for most people that know us, so our daughter's diabetic. We have to keep insulin and things like that in our refrigerator and keep those things cold. So in the case of an emergency, I would like to be able to obviously keep all of those types of appliances running, as well as be able to turn on a few lights and any kind of necessity circuits that we need to run, or if it's cold, then we can run some sort of heater or something for a short amount of time if we needed to. So those are the basic reasons why we want one. And again, like I said, me looking into these has only probably been a few years, and it's probably because in that time frame, that's about how long my daughter's been diagnosed diabetic. So, or coming up on 4 years. So anyway, like I said, that's kind of the basic crash course or rundown on what a backfeed circuit is and does. And then I'm going to kind of show you the things that I ordered. I will put a link in the video description for this interlock plate and the outside plug for Amazon. The only thing you'll want to make sure is that as far as your interlock plate, it's good chance it's going to be different from my electric panel, unless you happen to have the same exact GE electric panel. So depending on how much of this you're wanting to do yourself, you just need to make sure that you're sticking with whatever that type of equipment is, so that you're getting the things that accommodate the panel and electrical stuff that you have. So I'll quit talking on that point. So there's people that install these generator types of backfeed circuits and do not put a interlock kit in. An interlock kit is basically a type of device that is a safety device, so that when you feed that plug from the outside of the house, you do not you do not kick that breaker on with a generator hooked up to your panel and you're still being fed from your power pole or your underground service, however your electric comes into your residence or your house or whatever. But the reason that you wouldn't want to do that is if the electric company was working on something in your area and you have both things flipped on, you could potentially backfeed a circuit down the line and injure someone feeding electricity, or say they did get the power turned back onto your house. Now you've got two sources of electric coming into your panel. You could potentially, probably cause a fire or tear up electronics or things in your house. So I personally think that if you're going to do this, this would be a good way to go. I know several people that have a backfeed circuit with a generator that don't do this. That's fine. I could just see in my particular case, us losing power, my dad or a family member or a neighbor or something comes to help my wife and get a generator plugged in, and they have no idea what I did. So this kind of dummy proofs the whole entire system to where you have to kill the service coming into the house to turn on this generator circuit. So I like the idea of it. It might not be everybody's cup of tea. You choose what's best for you. I do have the cover off my panel, and I'll kind of show you basically what it does and how it works. The interlock will go in place of your top left two breaker slots. And that's what I've already done a little bit of work in my panel. That will be on the next video. And then what it does is it's slotted to where your main breaker is in the panel, that you have to turn that breaker off to slide this plate over to allow you to turn the generator breaker on. And that's, the basic principles of a interlock plate or interlock kit. It's just a safety device to keep you from double feeding the panel or hurting someone down the line. It's nothing crazy complicated. It's basically just I think this one's aluminum. I've seen them made out of steel and different things. They also make some different ones. My parents have a different one that is a rocker type, but they have a sub panel that's fed by the generator. And when you kick that breaker, it rockers and kicks off another breaker that it's being fed from. So there's a couple different ways this can be done. And like I said, there will be more in depth to this as I'm installing it on the second video. Set this out of the way. And then, so the outside box that I ordered is a 50 amp, 3-prong, weatherproof outside box. Something you'd commonly see a type of outside box like this around a hot tub or something like that. But this one is designed to work with an RV type of setup or a generator type of setup. It's specifically designed for that, and that the plug locks into this one specifically for a generator. So it's pretty simple. Again, I will put links in the description for both of these things. I want to say this plug box was somewhere around $50, or it's somewhere in that neighborhood. I believe it may be less than that. And then the interlock plate that locks out the breaker was, I think, around 30, but don't hold me to that. I will put those links in the description. But again, basically, that's what we're going to be going after in this upcoming video, is the installation of these two items. And like I said, it's a fairly simple thing to install. It's not overly complicated. You do want to make sure that all of your wiring and your things that you're doing work with one another. This is in particular is a 50 amp outside box or backfeed box, and the wiring that I'm putting in this will accommodate 50 amps, and then the breaker that I'm putting in the panel will accommodate 50 amps. I don't have a 50 amp generator right now, but in the case that I get a 50 amp generator down the road, I want it to be able to handle that. The one I have currently only pushes 30 amps, I believe. So as long as I'm under that 50 amps and I'm not pushing over that, that's fine. But I want it to be robust enough that down the road, should I get a larger generator, it will accommodate that. So that's why I went ahead and went this route. The wiring that I'm be putting in to accommodate this will be a 6-3, that's 6 gauge 3 wires. And it's pretty simple. Like, the wiring just comes in here, it wires up to this plug, it goes into your breaker panel, it goes into the breaker. I believe your common lug goes in with your common bus bar, and the 2 back feeds or 2 hot legs are going to go into the breaker circuit. So that'll be pretty much, like I said, part 2 video. I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of an explanation in this video as to why I'm installing one, that video is coming up, and answer just kind of any questions that people may have had, because I probably won't do much discussion in the second video. It'll be mostly just install of this. I might talk briefly on there, but for those of you who know, I do talk, so there's a good chance I could talk on that video as well. But like I said, should be pretty easy install. If I can get this open up. So like I said, it's a pretty simple system. Your 3 wires come into the back of the plug. It's grounded inside, obviously. We'll make sure everything's weather tight, but you can be looking for that video to be coming out. Like I said, I've already got everything kind of set up, so it's probably going to be up in the next couple of days. But like I said, just kind of a rundown and basic kind of Q&A on these types of things that I'm putting in. So we appreciate you tuning into the channel, and we hope to see you on the follow-up video of me installing these things. If you got any questions, feel free to drop me a comment down below. As always, we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care and have a good day.